The news of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert being suddenly cancelled hit everyone like a ton of bricks. Just when fans thought the show would continue for years, CBS dropped a bombshell. The show was ending, and it would wrap up in May 2026. The timing was completely unexpected, leaving both viewers and the entertainment industry in shock. After all, Colbert's late-night show had been doing great ratings-wise, so why end it? CBS claimed it was a financial decision, but that explanation left more questions than answers. What really threw people off was how the announcement was made. Colbert himself revealed the news to his live audience, and their reaction was immediate: shock, disappointment, and confusion. It wasn't just the audience in the studio who was taken aback, but viewers across the country. The show had been a staple in late-night television for years, so to hear that it was ending with no warning felt like a punch to the gut. Colbert, though, handled the news with grace, thanking his team and his loyal audience, but you could tell this was a decision that hurt him as much as anyone else. While CBS's statement praised Colbert's work and the impact the show had on television, it still didn't explain why the show was being cancelled. The network even went as far as to say that the decision was purely financial, nothing more, nothing less. But that just didn't add up. Why cancel a high-rated show that was so deeply ingrained in the culture? What else was at play here? This abrupt end raised some serious eyebrows, and it seemed like the real reason for the cancellation might be something more than what CBS was letting on. As the shock of the cancellation began to settle in, more and more people started to wonder if there was something more going on behind the scenes. While CBS claimed it was a financial decision, the timing of the cancellation made many question whether there were hidden political motives. One theory that quickly gained traction was that the cancellation could be tied to political pressure, particularly from the Trump administration. The cancellation came right after Colbert's public criticisms of Paramount's financial settlement with Trump, which was seen by many as a questionable move. Adding fuel to the fire, there was an ongoing multi-billion-dollar merger between Paramount Global and Science Media. This merger was under review by the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, and it needed approval. Both the FCC chairman and the CEO of Science are known to be political supporters of Trump, which raised suspicions about whether CBS was trying to play nice to get that crucial merger approval. Could CBS have been pressured into canceling the show as part of a larger strategy to appease the powers that be? This is where things get really murky, and people started to question whether Colbert's political stance played a role in the show's abrupt end. The idea that politics was involved wasn't just a theory. Some of Colbert's critics certainly seemed to believe it. Colbert had been outspoken in his critiques of Trump, and his show became a platform for anti-Trump sentiments, which likely didn't sit well with some powerful figures. The timing of the cancellation, combined with the political climate, suggested that there might have been more to it than just numbers on a spreadsheet. Whether the cancellation was purely business or a calculated move influenced by political forces, the public began to feel that there was something fishy going on. As news of Colbert's show being cancelled spread, the reactions came pouring in from all sides. Fellow late-night hosts, many of whom had worked alongside Colbert for years, expressed their disbelief and support. Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, and Jimmy Fallon were among the first to react, taking to social media to share their thoughts. Kimmel posted an emotional message on Instagram, telling Colbert how much he admired him, both as a comedian and as a person. Fallon echoed the sentiment, praising Colbert's wit and talent. It was clear that Colbert's colleagues were not just upset about losing a late-night giant, but also worried about the implications this might have on the future of free speech on television. Politicians also joined the chorus of reactions, and their voices carried a heavier weight. Senator Elizabeth Warren quickly took to Twitter to suggest that the cancellation might have been politically motivated, linking it to the financial settlement between Paramount and Trump. She even called for an investigation into the situation, arguing that the public deserved to know whether Colbert's cancellation was the result of political pressure. Other political figures, like Senator Adam Schiff, also weighed in, emphasizing that if politics were involved, the American people had a right to know. Their comments sparked even more speculation about the true reasons behind CBS's decision, fueling a larger conversation about corporate influence over media. But perhaps the most telling response came from Trump himself. On his social media platform, Truth Social, Trump couldn't contain his excitement about Colbert's show being canceled. He posted, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired," making it clear that he had no love lost for Colbert or his political commentary. This only served to add more fuel to the fire, as it seemed to validate the theory that Colbert's anti-Trump stance had something to do with the show's cancellation. As the reactions continued to pour in from both celebrities and politicians, It became clear that the cancellation wasn't just a personal blow to Colbert, but a significant moment in the larger media and political landscape. The cancellation of The Late Show has left more than just a gap in late-night television. It's created a storm of controversy and fallout that's only getting bigger. Colbert's departure from the airwaves isn't just a professional loss for him, it's a blow to the entire late-night television landscape. Colbert had built a massive following with his unique style of comedy, which often blended political commentary with humor. Now, with his show ending prematurely, there's a real question about what's next for him and whether he'll continue in television or take his talents elsewhere. The real issue, however, isn't just about Colbert. It's about the message this cancellation sends to other creators and performers in the industry. Fans, as well as colleagues in the entertainment industry, were quick to express their anger and disbelief over the cancellation. Many felt it was a direct attack on free speech and political expression. The public backlash was intense, with many questioning if this was the end of an era for honest, unfiltered commentary on television. Fans of The Late Show flooded social media, demanding answers and calling for transparency from CBS and Paramount. The response from Colbert's supporters was clear. This wasn't just about losing a late-night host, it was about losing a platform that allowed for open, critical discussion of important issues. On the corporate side, things were no less complicated. While Paramount and CBS insisted that the decision was based purely on financial reasons, the growing public outcry and the investigations launched by various politicians suggest that there's much more to this story. In fact, some even argued that the cancellation might have backfired in the worst possible way, shining a spotlight on the corporate dealings and potential political motivations behind the decision. What was meant to be a quiet corporate maneuver may have ended up drawing more attention than CBS ever anticipated, leaving the company in a much more precarious position. So, what's really going on behind the scenes at CBS? Was this cancellation purely about business, or did political pressures play a bigger role than anyone is willing to admit? With investigations still ongoing and reactions from high-profile figures continuing to pour in, the full story is far from over. The public deserves answers, and Colbert's fans are not letting this go quietly. Will we ever find out the truth, or will this just become another unanswered chapter in the tangled world of politics and media? Do you think this cancellation was politically motivated? Or was it just another business decision? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this shocking turn of events.